So my question for you is this. Do you want your grill to look like this? Or do you want your grill to look like this? This is reliable. If you follow these steps today, I'll help you maintain this grill. It'll last you a lifetime. It's simple steps, but I promise you follow these steps, it'll help you be a better cook. All that being stated, let's get to prepping. So we get to cooking. Come on. So this Weber kettle grill right here is probably one of my favorite little grills. Everybody knows got it. It's a very versatile piece of equipment. But a couple things goes on with this. This grill's been sitting out for about a week and a half since we've done the last cook on it. In that time frame, we've had some high humidities, a lot of rain, Hurricane Debbie's come through here. So there's a lot of conditions that's gonna make this grill be dirty and messy. By us not cleaning it, which we've done intentionally, I'm showing you what happens when you don't take care of these grills. And so what I want today is show you 10 tips. What we're gonna do is 10 tips on how to maintain this grill, also with some fire management and how to cook on this grill to make sure every time you use this Weber kettle grill, it's gonna be perfect for you to cook every time. So let me show you what we got. First off, let me show you what it looks like right now. So here's what we got. All right, so I want you to notice something right here. I've got a lot of mold going in here. I got some charcoal left over in here. I've got ash left over. I got the water pan left in here. This is what you do not want to do right here. The whole purpose of this creates all these mold spores. So today I'm going to try to clean it off. And by doing this, I'm going to have to do a deep clean. You don't want to deep clean these grills at one time a year. I'll get to that a little bit later on. But this is kind of the perfect storm about a bad environment. This water left in here along this charcoal, it's going to make a mess. And so what we got to do is clean this grill now. I'll show you how to make that happen. So get your charcoal bucket. Get you one of these buckets to make sure you can throw all your leftover charcoal in there and get rid of it. So I'm going to get rid of this today. If I clean it though, I can leave some of these pieces that hasn't burned up in here. But for this size, because as bad as it is, we'll clean it all up. Take the racks out. So now if you notice here, I've got these spider veins here. So on the bottom of this grill, we've also got the basket. This grill comes with the charcoal basket that holds it, hopper. Makes it easy to clean. So that way it's really good. When you get this grill, it's really easy to clean it. So let me show you what I'm gonna do to get the charcoal out of it. So I'm just gonna take it right here, get this piece that spins on top. It's temperature control. And as you've seen, it's been caked up. So that's kind of a perfect storm. Open it wide open, we got. Get that ash all down it. Get all that ash out of it. And this is what you do when you do the first thing to get through cooking, you clean it, and that's what we're doing right now. But again, this one's kind of extreme because we left it that way. A little bit there. Get a small piece of tin foil and just kind of right down the edges. When you're doing a deep clean about once a year, you can do degreaser on it. But this is midsummer right now, and we don't want to do a deep clean on it. But about once a year, we'll deep clean it. Like I said, I'll talk about that again in a little while. Now, the way this is designed here, take my basket, squeeze in, and I'm gonna make a mess. See how much it is? This is because I didn't clean it. Now that's what we need to get rid of. Now it goes right back on. Just like that. It's in. So now, before I do this though, because I got the mold in it, I need to get rid of that mold. So we're gonna take some 409, go on the outside of it right here. This is more for the outside. The inside don't heat up, so I'm going to clean the outside of it up. A little mold here and a little bit of dust. I'm gonna take it and clean it. This is what I do every time I get through cooking. Clean this grill. Y'all have no idea how bad I want to clean this grill before I done this video. So this is step one. I got all my ash out, everything's clean. I'm gonna put this back in there. Now I got a little bit of mold, like I said, on my racks. I'm gonna take a piece of my tin foil I had earlier, and down here at the bottom, not really worried about it. Run it across like that. Where I got some mold at. Then I'm gonna do this one. Top. First, because I didn't clean it last time, I'm gonna flip this one over upside down to start with. I'm gonna put it right back in here upside down. Just like that. Give me another piece of tin foil. And clean it up. You piece of tin foil with it like this and just scrub it. You just want to get all of it clean. I'm doing the back side first. Now I'm gonna flip it over, get a piece of tin foil, and do the same thing on the top side. So this is what you want to do. Every time you finish cooking, that can be that afternoon or the next day, but you want to clean this grill just like this. So next time you cook on it, it'll be ready, quick and easy. That's step one. So step two is charcoal placement. And we're using royal charcoal today. Now grill's ready to cook, everything's clean. What I want to do, now you got, there's a few schools of thought. If you're doing direct heat, you're gonna pour it in just like this. And that way you got a direct heat, you're cooking right on top of it. That's gonna be kind of hot and fast. The problem with this method is you can't get away from the heat. So if you got meats that are overcooking, getting too hot too fast, you really got nowhere to go. The other option you got to do is a snake method. It's basically you take charcoal and push it to the edges like this. And you'll light it on one end like this way, and it'll work its way around, kind of a snake method. And that's great if you're doing like a long cook. And what this will allow you to do is be able to kind of have heat moving around so you can kind of place it. Just put the heat on the outside of it. So if you're cooking something like a rack of ribs, over here is gonna be hot and over here is gonna be cool. So you have to kind of play with the fire that way. This is a great method and we do it all the time for different things. When I used to use a water smoker, this is what I use every day. But because a Weber grill is set up kind of for direct heat, in my mind, this right here is a little more limiting. Kind of limits me a little bit what I can do. So what I wanted to do, what I prefer to do is a two-zone method. The two-zone method is this. I'll take all my charcoal, I'll put it to one side like this. Now, this allows me to have a hot spot here, a warm spot here, and a cold spot here. Kind of allows me to have a lot more control about my temperature in my grill, which we'll talk about in a little while. So this is what I prefer to run, this kind of a two-zone method. So doing this method, I can put a water pan. As y'all seen earlier, I took out. I was cooking ribs on this. So I put a water pan there, allow me to kind of control it and have a little bit of moisture in there, a little more temperature control. The other option you have is they sell them, but for me, you get you some bricks. Twig out of the way. And now I've got me a dam right here. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this, but when I'm cooking, this is allowing me a little bit of safety margin. I feel comfortable with this. So this is how you set up for a two-zone cooking. This is what I prefer, but you can do direct heat, you can do a snake method, or two-zone method. But that's step number two. So step number three is to light the charcoal and let charcoal get hot. Now for that, I'm using these roll-up tumbleweeds. And look, nice we got. Now a lot of people use the baskets to drop it in a chimney. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, I just use it this way. It's one less thing for me to have to keep up with. I'm gonna take my charcoal, my little tumbleweed, and push it down in here. And over here, push it down here. Light it. Just take some charcoal and put it on top of it. So step three is getting charcoal hot. What I want to do is get my charcoal lit. I want to get nice and hot. I want it to not be smoking no more. And then we're going to start going to the step four. Be right back. So step three is get charcoal hot. As you can see, it's pretty hot. Got my rack in there. Close it up. Pour this here. See it here, I'm gonna go about 1/8 of an inch. It's gonna start smoking. I'm gonna dial the bottom down to a little bit above smoke right now. I just kind of just get everything just to calm down. I want it to quit smoking. If I put my foot on right now, it's gonna be a lot of smoky flavor to it. We don't want that right now. Right now, she's out of control. My goal now is to get it controlled. That's step number 3. So step number 4 is clean the grill when it's hot. As you notice, it's still smoking, so I don't want to put the food on right now, but my grill's kind of calming down. Right now, it's a perfect time to clean the grates. Let's grab it. Get another piece of tin foil. That's all you should have to do to clean the grates on there. It's the only thing you have to do whenever you maintain it properly. That's step number 4. Step number 5 is trust but verify. And what we're talking about right there is the temperature control. As you can see, this thing's telling me it's about 535 degrees here. So I'm gonna got this Thermoworks right here, infrared, and if I shoot the side of it, right here, it's at 355. If I shoot this side over here, I'm at 289. I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna shoot right over the coals. Got a little wire on it. So right now we're about 630 on that side. Over here, I'm about 250 to 300 degrees. So there's a difference in there. So that's why I do 2-zone cooking. So right in here, we're about 250. Right here, you knock it on about 300. Then get over here, you get 600, 700 degrees. So that's what we're looking for. So when you do trust but verify, understand what this thermometer is telling me is not exactly 100% accurate. You got to kind of understand the flow of it, because this right now over my fire. By doing that, so I got a direct fire, the smoke and the flavor goes this way and gets out. So by my thermometer being over my fire, it's giving me kind of a false reading right now, which is fine. But my goal right now is to calm it down, and then we'll do some temperature control. So that's step number 5. So that leads me to step number 6, which is temperature control. Knowing that my temperature right here is not accurate, my goal now is to maintain my temperature in the smoker by controlling the dampers. Right here, we're about 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch. On the bottom, this dot here means you're off. This right here is a kind of smoke, and this here is wide open for grill. Right now, we're cutting back here, trying to get it to stop smoking. But when I need to do temperature control, I'll move this direction to allow me to have to get hotter. And I'll go that direction to cool it down. So you got 2 methods to control it: intake from the bottom and the exhaust from the top. And that's how you maintain the temperature of Weber Kettle Grill. So step number 6 was master temperature control. I want you to notice right now, got a little bit of blue smoke, which is what we're looking for. It's not that white smoke, it's gonna get a dirty smoke flavor to it. Now I got a little bit of blue smoke to it. This is what I'm looking for. It's been about 25 minutes. Right here, this thing's telling me we're at 510 degrees. If I come in here, shoot this, I'm at 280, 290, 315, starts getting to 400, now it's 600. So there's a big difference between here and there. Let's see if I can get this to you on camera. See how we got 280? Kind of moving it around. Now we start getting into the edge where we're shooting right over the bricks. Over the fire, we're really hot. So by the thermometer telling me we're really hot, 500 degrees, it's right over the charcoal. Over here, it's not. So that's what we'll make sure we keep in mind. But I need my air to flow across. A lot of people take these and put a second thermometer, drill a hole, and put a second thermometer on this side. Not a bad idea. Gives you a good idea from that. But also you can use the Thermoworks, the infrared guns, or you use some of them probes you can clip to the grates. So that's step number 6. Step number 7 is food placement. Let me show you how we're gonna do that. So I got my grill set up in 2-zone cooking. My heat's over here and my cool sides, and I can move stuff around and maintain it. So that's step number 7, understanding food placement. Close it up, let it keep cooking. So tip number 8 is patience. When I'm grilling anything, smoking, barbecue, whatever else, I want to cook my food early and allow it to rest. A brisket can rest 2 hours. Pork butts, I'd love to have an hour and a half. Ribs, an hour. Chicken, 30 minutes or so. A steak, 5 to 10 minutes. But the whole goal by that is cooking it a little early. That way you got patience. You can calm down, you ain't stressing out, and you can let the meat do what it's gonna do. If it goes a little over, it ain't gonna hurt anything. When you try to force it, you try to rush it, you try to cook to a timeline, like lunch at 12 o'clock or whatever, you're gonna mess up. You'll have a lot of mistakes with that. So the goal with this is just be patient. Enjoy the process. Drink a beer, have a good time with it, but just calm down and enjoy it. So patience is one of the key. That's tip number 8. So tip number 9, when you're cooking like this and you've been cooking for a long time, we're doing a fast cook day with chicken wings. As you can see, we got a chicken wing video coming out. But when you're doing something a long cook, like a pork butt, ribs, or whatever else, go at the bottom and use that little piece at the bottom that we use to control the airflow. Move it around a few times. Let the ash kind of fall out. You don't want to smother the fire out. Short cook like this, we don't have that problem. When you're doing a long cook, that is something to take into consideration. So that's tip number 9. If you maintain the grill like we were showing you do earlier in steps 1, 2, and 3, you start maintaining that grill. Then step number 10 is going to be avoiding a deep clean. You want to clean these grills about 1 time a year. I usually do it in the springtime, right when we start getting warm weather outside. But you don't want to do a deep clean a lot, because you want that season that grill, that flavor you got down that grill to stay with that grill. And that way you don't do a deep clean. So I do it 1 time a year. Some people do it every other year. Whatever's cooked with you. But when you clean it like we got, you maintain it, you cover it up, you get it where it's not getting all these elements outside to it, and you can keep that thing clean. You don't have to do a deep clean, but once every year or once every other year. So you don't want to do a deep clean, because with all that hard work you put in that flavor in that grill, you're going to just take away and wash off. So by maintaining the grill like we're showing you these steps, you don't have to do that. So tip 10 is don't deep clean but once a year. So that's the steps to maintain a Weber kettle grill. If you follow these steps, this grill will last you a lifetime. It's a simple tool to use. It's got an awesome flavor to it. It's very versatile. If you like this video, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If there's some steps we didn't include, or if there's steps we included you don't think need to be included, leave it in comments down below. Love to hear about that. All that being said, appreciate y'all watching. See you next time. Now we get back cooking these chicken wings. Check that video out. Up here's a card to it. I love this little grill.